everyone, welcome to another episode of Everyday Conversations. There are millions of women right now who are doing everything right. They are training more, they are eating less, they are moving more, but still their bodies are not responding. You know why? We have to figure it out in this episode. But there is another group of women, and they think that after the age of 35, their body is declining. The window is getting close. The fear is real, and so is the grief, and also the sleepless nights. Dennis Golosin is a Hormone-Smart Fat Loss Coach. He is founder of the Solution Tape. He is founder of the Attune app, and this app is especially designed for women. Today we will talk about hormones, breathing, the calorie trap, and fertility. And the conversation I think every woman want to hear who are 35 plus. Denis Golosin, welcome to the mic.
How are you doing? I'm glad that I'm your guest. It's my first podcast. So I'm a little bit like, not say shy, but I need a little bit of time to relax. I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you for asking. My day, I think that day is too short for me. Either though I'm waking up very early and I'm staying awake till like after midnight, and I still have like work to do. But I think at least 5 more hours I need, extra time in order to finish, what is in my mind, in my task. But in general, this period now of the year is when many people traveling, as my clients as well. So it's giving me time to do other things, which we're going to talk about during podcast. But doing well. Many things happening. Becoming father for second time. We're expecting baby now in August. So
Mashallah.
Preparing myself mentally for sleepless nights.
True. That is a blessing, I think so.
Yeah, I cannot complain. I always try to keep myself busy, always find something to do, which for me is like whole point. I'm not going that much out, so any free time that I have, I'm at home doing something, and this actually makes me like make me feel happy. Actually,
Dennis, before we go anywhere, I have to ask you something about the Run Club, because that is where I first heard about the Solution Tape, and first time I met you. I remember we were walking back towards the 3,000 meter salt. So Dennis, most coaches build their audience online. You were just running with people and talking about what you do. Is that intentional, or is there something about the environment, moving, sweating, no screens? Is that the thing which changes all the conversation?
But look, it's completely intentional. Honestly, I'm not a big social media person. I'm doing everything by my own, either though I have partner, but my partner is in US. And we learn from our mistakes. I would say we spend a lot of money in the beginning on the wrong decisions, hiring wrong people, wrong marketing agency that, they don't look after you. They just look after your money. And that's it. And then I said, it's enough. We burn a lot. It's time for me to do something about that. And for this running club, like honestly, my goal and my idea is not to pitch or to sell to anyone anything, I just wanted to let people know that even if you're like elite athlete, you can always be 1% better with small tweak. Like for me personally, I'm the person who, I will not say hate running. I like running, but I didn't run for years. Either though in my younger age, I was training athletics. I was running these races, 1,000 meters, sprints. I was actually very good and very fast, but that was in my teenage days. I will say minimum since I moved in Dubai, let's say 10 years, I I stopped running completely. So it was just pure bodybuilding, and when it comes to carb, it's just low intensity. But when I start using nasal tapes, I cannot explain you how much I appreciate running and how much I enjoy now. Before, reason was always my mouth breathing, and then you stay without breath, you cannot even swallow, and then you just stop in one spot and just like trying to catch your breath. When I start using nasal tapes, honestly, I don't even open my mouth even once. I am running so smooth, so easy that I feel like I can run for an hours. And and my goal is to bring the tapes to share to the people, just for them to see actually how much they can improve their running. And and honestly, with running, when you're sweating, you're more relaxed. There is no cameras around you, there is nothing, there is no social media, so people are more open to talk, to have honest conversation about everything. Well, your examples are, like you said, we walk for like 3 kilometers, we talk about many topics. This is the first time we met, we saw each other, and it was like we know each other for many years, so like when it's spontaneously is, for me, always better, and I like it because I'm in my comfort zone. Even coming to this running club was out of my comfort zone, so I like literally forced myself to go there and make this first step. But once you meet people there, everything become so easy, so smooth, I would say. Yeah.
I would say that yes, this was something different when we met. It was first time we met, I guess, and it was a spontaneous thing.
Exactly.
I would like to show people that this is the beautiful packing of the solution tape, and this was given to me as a gift by Dennis, and this is the one which I was talking about, that it really worked. I really loved it. Tell me
Yeah, so
something
it's
about the
very,
packaging and the science behind this packaging.
the goal with this box is, as you can see, this logo S, and there is many dots around that. So these dots around the logo represent, I will say, like you have kind of sea of the problems everywhere. These dots representing the problems, and they're all coming to the logo S, which is the solution of all the problems. And literally, even though people maybe might not think like that, but nasal breathing can fix many problems. That something that you think it's not possible or look funny, but just if you're able to breathe properly and take deep breath, it can remove many problems from people. So we work on that very hard, like I will say around a year, full year of just testing, branding, planning. I was the one who talked with many different suppliers. They were sending me samples. It was a very slow process, and I didn't want to do like one or two suppliers. So I test maybe between like five to 10 different suppliers, different products, and then decide to go with the current one. Why? Because the product is simple the best. Testing through running, sweating, showering with the tape, sleeping with the tape. Tape is like stick to my nose, not removing at all. And I will tell you one thing. Now during this Spartan race that was happened like a month ago almost, one guy came to me after the race. First of all, I didn't know what is the obstacles. I just saw that they're starting from arena, they're running outside, and I didn't know what's happening outside because I was in. But the guy came to me completely wet, so I didn't know they have swimming as one of the obstacle exercises, how you're gonna call it. He came to me completely wet, and tape is still on his nose, and he told me, "This is the best thing ever. Thank you so much. I'll recommend you to everyone." Yeah, thank you for that. But I want to tell you that people often ask me, "Is it waterproof?" I said, "Listen, it's not, but it's staying. It doesn't peel, so you can say it's waterproof as well. Either though there is different type of tapes and materials for waterproof tapes." But beside the packaging, for me, the most important thing was the quality. The quality. I got many positive reviews from the people, which is like, point. For me, what's the point of, nice packaging if the product is not that good? So everything need to match, everything need to comes together. And I believe it's just a matter of time when the solution will be more like well-known brand. Either though there is like, I can see few new brands, in the market, but we're building our story, our brand, and I like to talk more about, in general, to the people about about mouth tapes, honestly, because it's underrated. People don't talk that much about that, but I think it's actually, for me, it's more important than nasal tapes, I will say. Nasal tape people just might use while doing sport, but mouth tapes is, for me, actually game changer. I mean, combining these two, it's like, top. But during the night, in 90% of cases, I'm just using mouth tapes. And I transform my sleep, to be honest.
First thing what people notice about you is it's obvious a contradiction, You are a bodybuilder, you are an athlete, someone who has built his own body through intense and aggressive training. I've seen your videos, photos. And then your entire coaching career is dedicated to the delicate hormonal world of women, especially over 35. How does
Yeah.
these two things live inside the same person? And does your background as an athlete actually make you better at understanding what your clients are going through?
Yeah, like honestly, male and females are pretty much very, very connected with one issue, and that's the stress. And what I learned through my, I would say, bodybuilding career is when to push, when to stop. It taught me about discipline and mindset. Um, but I will say stress is number one. So there is period of my career when I was actively competing. By the way, I didn't do many shows, either though I was preparing for many shows, but I just didn't participate. But I went to all this process saying like I'm doing the show. And the thing is, you cannot build something if other things are out of range, I will say. For example, stress, I will say stress is number one enemy. And I believe that during this podcast, I'm going to use mostly this word, stress, because in today's day, like, even though people think that they're not stressed, trust me, even small things can cause the stress, that you're not even paying attention to that, you don't realizing that. And I learned how to react to stress. Before, when I was younger, with a bit less knowledge, for me, the only thing is, train every single day if I can, and eat as less as I can, which is, when you listening that, you will think, oh, you might be very lean because you're not eating much, but you're training every day. But it's actually happening completely opposite. I was getting weaker. I was having terrible sleep. My recovery was very bad. And instead of progressing and growing, I was just going down and regressing, actually. So what I will give advice, you mentioned women 35, but I will tell you there is many young women that having the same issues that women after 35 have, I will say, after 35, 40. And they are just in their 20s. They need, it's better if you start earlier thinking about your body and your life, then because consequences will come later in your life. Not early. You're gonna feel it in your 40s, 50s. So I will always prioritize my sleep, a lot of protein, rest as much as you can, and honestly, this is the best possible advice that everyone can apply there. I know it's hard, and through this podcast, I believe I will give you maybe more examples of my clients. I will say some of my clients in the past. I was thinking of doing everything right, but actually was doing everything wrong. And I will tell you, I'm feeling more healthier now when I'm training 3 times in a week than when I was training 5 to 6 times a week. Like maybe I don't look the same because the amount of food that I was eating on that time, and amount of discipline and supplements and all this kind of stuff that comes with bodybuilding, I stopped doing that. So now for me, this is pure lifestyle. I'm training because I like and I love, and I built this mindset inside me that always eating healthy. I am not a robot anymore. Either though before I was looking like robot, straightforward. Now I really enjoying if I want to eat some, I would say, bad food. I will not hesitate to eat. I will definitely treat myself, but everything need to be in some borders. Like you cannot just say, oh, just today, and then day become another day become another week, and this is the circle. You need to build this discipline, but discipline you're not, and this is for general for women. You're not building discipline by restricting yourself once, like all of a sudden. It will just be, it will just give you, how you say that, like opposite reaction. Then, instead of positive, it will impact you negatively. But slowly, everyone will reach there. Any issue that she have, like it's very fixable. It's just a matter of how you're approaching it.
Dennis, you are in the coaching line since last 10 years. And this is a very long time to stay in one lane, actually. And the fitness industry, is like changing and reinventing itself every 6 months. So, was there any specific client, a specific woman, like any specific client or specific moment that made you commit entirely towards the hormonal health? Any case that changed how you understood the human body?
Oh, in 10 years, I coach many women, but not also women. Also, I'm coaching also men. But when we talk about women, there is many different cases. And what I realized that, especially here in Dubai, I will say in my country is a bit different, but in Dubai, people just like to pay, and they think that all problems are gone. Not in the bad way, but I will say there is not many people trying to learn something. I have clients who are with me 5, 6, 7 years, and either though we're repeating the same things, I asked, like, why you need me? Like, we already training for so long, like, you already know that. And he said, no, if we stop working, I will be confused. Which is a bit strange, but from the other side, like, there is people like that. You cannot blame them. But now to come back on your question about specific case. But like I mentioned before, like there is, I will not say one, but let's say a few clients with very similar issue, like very low education when it comes to nutrition, thinking that she's doing everything right, training almost every day, killing herself, and her body looks worse and worse. Which when you listen to her, when she tell you what she's doing, some person who doesn't know anything about fitness and hormones will say, that's like very strange. Like, you're doing everything right. You're training 5 to 6 times a week. You're eating a lot of proteins, but your body still, doesn't look like, doesn't showing these results, So what I did with her specifically, I cut her trainings on half. And at that time, she was a little bit, I would say disappointed. Like, she was a little bit shocked that I'm cutting her training on half. Instead of 5, 6 times, she was doing like, I think it was like maximum 3 times a week. And we start increasing her calories. She was under eating. So when I asked her, I remember when I asked her, I told her, how much proteins you eating a day? And then she said, I'm eating a lot. I said, okay, you're eating a lot, but how much is that a lot? She said, more than 100 grams. I said, okay, that's actually good, but can you give me one day of eating, walk me through your day of eating? She said something like, I'm eating this piece of chicken, like more than 100 grams. And then I realized, okay, like she think that 100 grams of chicken is actually 100 grams of protein, and and for sure I know that many people counting like that, many people, and this is like red flag immediately. But then when I actually explain her how much is that and how much she should actually eat, and I walk her through one day of eating, how much she should eat, she was shocked. She said, I cannot eat that much food. I said, yes, I know you cannot eat that much food now at the moment, but it's step by step, brick by brick. So nothing happened overnight. Body need time. When you're training every day, you're just stressing your body, you're stressing your muscles, and plus, if you're under eating, this is extra stress on top of that. So your body's holding back. Your body will store more fat that is normal. Thinking, because body is very smart. Body think you're in dangerous. So let me better store more fat inside my body to protect myself in case you will do something crazy. You know what I mean? So once we release this stress, everything becomes much better, much easier. And it's again more, I would say, more mindset stuff. Talking, repeating stuff. Many women have this in mind that if they're lifting weights, they will be bulky, which is again just myths that somebody threw in the air and they believe in that. But actually, doing resistance training, lifting a little bit heavier, because for women is much harder to gain muscles than for us guys. We can do even lighter weight. Our body, we have testosterone. Testosterone is our engine, but for women is estrogen. They need to train heavier. But again, when I said heavier, I don't mean heavier to break the back or get injury. Everything should be in some normal range on their capacity. Time by time, month by month, they become stronger. And of course, when you're stronger, you have ability to lift heavier. And this is actually how you're progressing. Building more muscle, they will speed their metabolism. And that's all point. More muscles, burning more calories. So instead of woman eating 1,200 calories, she will eat 2,000 calories. And she will be proud of that. And she will not gain 0% of fat. Everything will go into muscles. So they're going to be nicely shaped, toned muscles. And what comes with that is sleep improvement, cycle improvement, stress improvement, mood. Everything comes together. So yeah.
That was a very
reply on your question properly.
you are covering every aspect. I think whatever the women and whatever the listeners wanna hear from you, you are covering every single point. Dennis, you told me that you had an Attune app, because I find that concept genuinely fascinating. That you build a platform that reads a woman's hormonal profile and builds her an entire program around her biology. Can you walk us through how does it work and what does actually the Attune app does?
Yeah. It's called Attune Hormone Fitness. So for women who are listening, they can search on Apple Store. I'm still in testing phase when it comes to Android, because Android have a little bit different policy when it comes to launching apps. First, I need to have certain number of women who will test it for free. So still I'm making kind of strategy how I'm going to present myself, how I'm going to present my product. I don't want to sell. I want users. I'm giving 14 days free trial, which is not that often with apps. Usually somebody give 3 days free trial or 7 days free trial. I'm giving 14 days free trial because I believe that that's minimum amount of time for user to use in order app to start understanding your hormones, your cycle, your habits, and all this kind of stuff. So,
I think I will be putting this Attune app, further details how to download this app on the show notes below.
It will be my pleasure, because really I believe in this product, and honestly I believe it can help millions and millions of women. Something that really, instead of you paying thousands dirhams or dollars for coach, you can have your coach in the pocket that really understand you, that you can chat, understand your biology, your hormones, your cycles. There is also GLP-1 integrated inside the tracker. So for example, what's common thing that happen with women who are using GLP-1 is that when they inject themselves, in the next few days they will feel down, low energy, bad mood. And it's all, I would say, side effect of GLP-1. And app knows that. App knows if your sleep is not good, if your mood is not good, it will connect. App will connect the dots, and it will guide you to tell you, just go to the gym, do something very light, or just rest all day, don't do anything. It's very, very intelligent. I mean, people are a bit skeptical about AI, but AI, if you teach AI on the correct way, it's way smarter than human.
But that is one thing I need to ask you. In the start, you said something that there was a female client of yours who was under 18. So there was a calorie math going on with her. But that's what I want to start. Something most common story. Women's in 30s and 40s. In my families, in my friends, in my gyms, everywhere I can, friend circle, I found them. They are exercising more. But the only problem which I personally found is the social media, the internet. Internet is also not wrong, I am saying. They suggest something which is a story of someone. But that story it's not designed for you. It's designed for the particular person. So when a woman like that walks through your door, and what is the very first thing you look for? what is actually happening in her body that the calorie math which she's doing is not accounting for.
Yeah, you're right. Social media making us overwhelmed and anxious in many ways. But first thing that I look for is stress. Again, stress. Stress is biggest enemy. Like, it's not about calories, it's about stress. And like I said, stress can be anything, even a small thing. Like, for example, now my dog was barking a bit. Maybe you didn't hear, maybe you hear because she's not that big. But then I shift my focus on her, because if we are not on podcast, I will turn around and tell her to stop. But because, you know what I mean? And it make me stressed. You know, it make me stressed. This is same with women. It's very easy to sell something to women. And I used to say to my client that fitness and wellness are one very big lie. And he was looking at me like, why are you saying that? I said, let's connect the dots. I will tell you now example from my life. My mother have multiple sclerosis. Thanks God she's doing well thanks to some medication. But I always said, if my mother eating enough protein and doing any kind of activity, she will handle it much easier, much better. It's the same with everyone. There is no reason to overcomplicate, to listen. And I understand, because I was like that. I was listening many different opinions, watching a lot of social media content, and women just get confused, overwhelmed, confused, lost, and it's getting even worse. So I will always say, reduce your stress. How are you going to reduce your stress? But there is many different ways how you can do that. I will always put on first spot sleep. Sleep as a number one. Sleep is the best medicine for recovery. Forget about, okay, red light therapy, sauna, cold plunge. All that is amazing, essential, but first fix your sleep. That's number one. Try to expose yourself a little bit to the sunlight. Maybe not early morning as you wake up. If you have opportunity, why not? But it's not mandatory. I don't have balcony in my apartment, so I'm not going out first thing in the morning. But you know, this kind of things, breath work, meditation, it will help a lot. And your body will just simple start releasing, and it will be much easier for her to lose weight, to feel better. Body will not be like, you know, it will not squeeze her like that's always happening when he's under eating, when he's overtraining, when he's under stress. Your body is holding you back. But once you nail all these things, your body will just simply release, and you're going to start losing weight. You're going to start to feel better. You become stronger 100%. Your hormones slowly will come back in the normal range, optimal range. So it's all about that, I will say. Of course, look, there is some genetic things that maybe you cannot avoid, but most of the things are reversible and fixable, I will say. It's just about how you're going to do it. Either you listen many different opinions and just get confused, or just either do your own research, or just stick to one person who that you know that person did it with many other women on the good way, and that's it. Don't chase another opinion, another program, because nothing will work. If you don't fix this in your head, nothing will work. Simple as that.
That is the biggest stress for women actually, because whenever they step on a scale, they become, they are in this stress.
Yeah.
It's the biggest stress of life for them. And I
Not
think so
even to
that is
step on
the
scale.
that is the case you are telling about. So
Exactly.
yeah, and you also mentioned how to recover the stress, how to remove those stress. So there is a phrase, metabolic chaos. I love that term because it captures something that a BMI chart or a calorie tracker simply cannot measure. So can you define it for the listeners? What does the metabolic chaos actually look like in a person's daily life? Because once they step on a scale, the stress comes in.
Look, for me, metabolic chaos is when your body's signals stop making sense. When you um, wake up tired even after 8-9 hours of sleep, when you crash at 3 p.m. There is many different things and situations. When you wake up with foggy headache, when your sleep is disorder, like you wake in the middle of the night. So all of that is kind of metabolic chaos, and I think the weight comes the last as a result of that. But first thing that comes as a result is hormones, blood sugar, and on top of that, like how you said, cherry on the top of the cake, is when the weight starts showing bigger and bigger numbers. So, and again, it's very reversible, and I might be bored to your guests who are listening, but everything comes from stress. Stress is very underrated, but it's actually maybe the biggest enemy of many people and causing many health issues and disease. Even the worst one, when we talk about, let's say, cancer or something like that, in many cases, stress is the reason. So,
You know what, Dennis? Your topic, the women's health and the calorie trap for women, it's a very hot topic right now. It's a topic of everyday discussions in family groups everywhere. That's why it aligned with my episode and my show Everyday Conversations a lot. And people might not be bored, but people might be interested, because even if a man is listening to you, it might be helpful in other terms to his wife, to his sister, to his cousins, relatives, friends, circle, anyone.
yeah.
And of course, if women is listening to it, definitely it's gonna help them. There are few words which are very common right now, which I think so. Last 6-7 years back, I have not heard these words, but since last 6-7 years, it's been very common. PCOS, insulin resistance, perimenopause. These words are becoming part of everyday conversations between people, especially here in Dubai, in GCC, where women are juggling high pressure careers, family life, and the expectation to look and perform at their best constantly. For someone who has been diagnosed with one of these, who is scared, confused, and overwhelmed, where do you begin with them? Do you have any story related to it?
Menopause, perimenopause, it's normal. It's come by age. I was coaching also women in their 50s, 60s, But when it comes, and I have few clients with insulin resistance, insulin resistance as well. Mostly women gets very scared when they heard this and when they get diagnosed with that, which again, triggering the fear will trigger stress hormone, and it will just again make it worse. But I think there is nothing to they should blame themselves, or their husband should blame them. It's just it's not a life sentence. is this is just something that's following you for certain period of time, but now you just have the name of that either disease or of the problem. So it's very like it's possible to reverse insulin resistance, PCOS, and it comes to high protein diet. When I say diet, I don't mean starving yourself, but I think people have like a little bit wrong perception about diet. I mean just normal eating. I will say normal eating, because I think we normalize this word diet as something very strict, few calories, but it's actually you just eating what you should eat. Eating burgers and pizzas every day, you should not eat that. This is not good. This is not what we meant to eat. We are meant to eat whole food, veggies, fruits, meat, all this kind of stuff. When I say diet, I will just say eating normal, come back to basic, prioritizing for women especially, which women mostly leading on that, skipping breakfast, which is biggest mistake. I will say the breakfast is the most important meal through the day, and should be like high protein meal. You have many different options. Even if woman is busy, there is still options that you can make in just a few minutes. So basic stuff, I will say. Protein in every meal, 2 to 3 meals a day. Strength training, start with 2 times a week. Increase if you can. If not, and sleep. Try to fix your sleep. So it's all about that. It's about, for women, it's advice. Protein in every meal. At least 30 grams of protein. So you have different variations. What you're gonna eat, what is the easiest for you. I will suggest eggs. Eggs is something that I'm eating in the past 10, 15 years, every single day, sometimes twice a day. Might sound boring, but eggs are very healthy, good source of good fats, vitamins, minerals. So protein in every meal. Train 2 to 3 times at least. Resistance training, lifting weights. Don't stop doing high intensity workouts, endless cardio sessions. It will not take you anywhere. Focus on weight training. This is what you need in order to build muscle, to feel better, and to recover your body, to recover your hormones actually, and sleep. So
Dennis, nowadays GLP-1 medications and Mounjaro, they are everywhere right now, in the clinics, in the group chats, in the family conversations, at the dinner table, across the city. And it's like you just mentioned GLP-1 medication connected with your Attune app as well. And it's sparking real conversation right now. And recently, I think so, you have spoken publicly on your Instagram post and story about GLP-1 medications. So, what is the professional truth about these medications that nobody's telling a woman before they start?
yeah, look, GLP-1, like Ozempic, this kind of stuff. It's always connecting with PCOS, insulin resistance. These medications are not bad, but the way how the woman using it is wrong. Again, leading, but mostly social media things, which again, I'm not against if you find the proper source for that, can be very useful, but most women using it in the wrong way. So what GLP-1 is doing is it will quiet your appetite. So woman will eat less. You're gonna literally your body will not ask for food. And why this is bad? Okay, you're gonna lose some fats, but you're gonna also lose muscles as well. so muscles will not stay. If women using it and doing it the proper way, it can be very useful. But what comes with suppressed appetite? You simply cannot eat. You cannot eat. I will give you one quick example. I have one client, male, on Mounjaro, and doctor prescribed him this because of diabetes. He cannot eat. He cannot. He just, I'm forcing him to eat more, but there is no appetite. There is no. Looking at him when we started a few months ago and looking at him now, it's like two different men. Either though the scale didn't go maybe 1, 2, 3 kilo max, but his strength, his body, it's completely different. Not just strength and body, but his mood. He told me when we started, I couldn't go up on the stairs. I get tired. I couldn't carry my son. I get tired. Now it's completely opposite. Now he's full of energy, feeling strong. And I remember I told him, I always, keep repeating this to him. I said, these weights that you have now at home, these dumbbells, I said, very soon this will not be enough for you. And he was laughing. He said, hopefully. And it's true now. Like all these dumbbells that he have, it's now easy for him. And when we started, it was like 2 kilo per hand. It was struggle. What's happened now? He's training. He starts drinking protein shakes because through regular food, he cannot eat that much proteins. So I told him, at least let's go with protein shakes. It's very easy to get your protein in, for your daily needs. So if women doing it the right way, it's GLP-1 can help a lot. Try, always try. You need to keep, especially this medication. She need to keep protein high. It's just as a must, and she should train as well. Otherwise, you're gonna lose fat, but you're gonna lose a lot of muscles. You're gonna lose a lot of muscles. You will become weaker, and then you're gonna start having even more hormonal problems that comes along with that. Metabolic problems, hormonal problems. Everything will go down the line. So if possible, yeah, I'm not against that. I have one client actually that's female that using it, and she using it from a bit, I will say, different reasons. She's not overweight. She's mom of 2, taking Mounjaro. She said just to lose a little bit belly fat. And again, her issue is night craving. She can eat perfectly during the day, but when night comes, TV, let's order something,
Let's order.
And that's the thing. And so now she is like, she think in her head that if she take Mounjaro, that this food will not count because of Mounjaro. Mounjaro will fix that, but it's not like that. But in general, I will say she's very good. She's very strong. She progresses a lot. She's training very hard, 3 times with me, trying to eating well as much as she can based on her busy schedule, 2 small kids, many things around. So, I understand people that I'm coaching. I wish they can do perfectly, but I also understand the circumstances around them. And, it's life. You cannot make it perfect, but at least try to go to the perfection if you can. If not 100%, but try to go at least above 50%. And then step by step. So, yeah, GLP-1 is very, very popular. Most women using it in the wrong way. But if you're using it in the correct way, if, like I said, prioritizing these things, increasing your protein, strength training, good sleep, it's actually can be very, very useful, you know. Point is to protect your muscles, because on this medication you're going to lose muscles. So, you know, muscles is your engine. I will say it like that. Muscles is your engine. It's building your metabolism. Strong metabolism is everything.
Dennis,
Simple.
here come the very delicate part of our today's episode and today's conversation. And I think so many women want to hear, especially this part of the episode. There is a belief widespread that for women over 35 years of age, the biological clock has essentially run out. The fertility is declining so rapidly that the dream of pregnancy, of family, of biological motherhood is essentially behind. As someone who works directly with women's hormonal health every single day, so what is the truth? How much of what women believe about their fertility after the age of 35 is fact, and how much of it is a fear that has been allowed to come fact? What do you say about this?
This look, a lot of this fear get repeated, and you know, it seems like, I will say, it seems like a lie. When you keep repeating some lie, it becomes true. I will just tell you regarding fertility and overwhelm in 35. My wife is 41, you know. So of course genetic plays big role, but I will say also lifestyle, your lifestyle. And to be honest, I heard actually a few days ago, I heard from my friend who went, my classmate, he went back to Serbia for vacation from my country, and he said he spoke with many people there our age, and girls, and guys as well, young couples, they struggling with fertility, which is like early 30s. So it's uh, fertility is changed with age, of course, and it's normal, it's real. But again, the lifestyle play a big role. If you have like normal period, if you waiting, you know, that's the thing. I can give younger people advice that take care of your lifestyle, take care of your body in early age. Don't think about that when already there is consequences. The damage is already made, and then you're gonna say, "Oh, I need to change that." So people should, take care of themselves in early stage. And again, coming back, it's sleep, is stress management, just, I would say, healthy lifestyle. You don't need to be perfect. Nobody's perfect, but at least take care of these few basic things when it comes to sleep, stress management. You know. So yeah, that's
So, in short, the question was like, is it a fact or a fear? So, it's more or less a fear actually.
it's a feel like, I would say it's more a fear, and when it's fear and then you make the fear, how to say, to become a reality, you think that's reality, which is actually is not. Uh, Something is genetic, which you might cannot change, it's just happened, but most of that is just fear. And there is many examples that I know as well, that woman after 40, you know, still, have good fertility and able to, to get pregnant. And so, But again, it's lifestyle. It's, I will say, most is lifestyle.
You have answered everything in one word: lifestyle. So I
A
think it's
lifestyle,
more
yeah.
or less the best thing you said, that they need to change their lifestyle actually. I want to ask you something that I think the men who are listening to this podcast as well, because this is not just a women's issue, because men are the partners, husbands, friends, sitting in these conversations, watching the women they love carry this fear. What do you want to say to them? What do they need to understand about what their partner is going through hormonally and how they can actually help them?
Very, very simple thing. Don't, I will say, don't blame her. Don't pressure her, because you as a man, you don't know what's going on inside her body, inside her feelings. You might think she's in bad mood because she wanna be in bad mood, but this is actually something much deeper inside that uh, you need to try to understand. I mean, men should try to understand and support. Instead of telling her what to do, better say what I can do for you. You know, because other way around, you will again just create her more stress, more pressure, and the things will just get even worse. You know what I mean? And the women are very sensitive. It's like, how you say that, when you put the gas on the floor and then holding the lighter, and just you need to drop lighter for them to make fire. So it's, I understand that you cannot. I learned that also from my experience, that we as a man, we need to understand women, because her mood swing is not because she want that. It's more hormonal, but it comes also with age. And if you know how to react to make her feel better, it's it's amazing. But if you don't know, it can be even worse. But I will say, don't blame her for everything. Try just to support. Try to be supportive, not to be the one who will tell her what to do, what not to do. For example, a few days ago, uh, I asked the same question my wife, because I can see her mood. I can see these changes, and I just asked her what I can do for you. Like, just tell me. I stopped telling her you should do this, you should do that. I start asking what I should do, what I can do for you, and it's changed conversation immediately.
I
So
think all husbands and men's who are at home and having and facing these issues with their women, they need to practice this. What can I do for you? Instead of asking, you can do this something.
act as how to say, act as a, now we will say maid or something, but act as a someone who will just come and say what I can do for you, what I can bring for you, what I can cook for you, what I can make for you, yeah, like some things like that. Uh, it will change definitely conversation. It's not pushy, and she will not feel uh, even more like pressured. She will feel more relaxed, more stable, and it's completely different. Like, you need to know your partner, and that's the main thing.
Artificial intelligence, AI, which we spoke about little earlier. And you also mentioned hormonal intelligence is your Attune app about. So what if today a woman can open an AI platform, input her symptoms, her age, her biological data, her cycle data, her sleep patterns, and what will happen? She will receive a personalized hormonal health plan for free. So you have built a Tune app, which itself used data to personalize programs. So my question is, and I want an honest answer, can AI replace Dennis and or AI replace Attune app?
Interesting. I will say yes and no. I told you earlier that many apps are just generic apps. It's all about how you feeding your AI. How you. I know that my app is way smarter than me, and it's also depends from which perspective user will look on that. But on my app, I'm adding this emotional voice, emotional tone, feeding with data, with informations. App will never replace the human in terms of conversation, emotions, understanding, at least not yet. But I think that my app is very, not maybe not even very close, but from my perspective, it's based on data that my app is collecting in order to give you the best possible output. I will say maybe it's getting close. I cannot say for other apps, but many of them are just generic, work for general population. Like I didn't see any. There is apps for women, but every app missing something. Maybe they will nail workout plan, but missing meal plan, or vice versa, or something like that. I didn't saw any app that connecting all dots. Like I told you earlier, when it comes to insulin resistance. So if you put on the app that you have insulin resistance, and you add what time you're gonna train, for example, so it will act like me. I know if you tell me I'm training at 12, okay, I will tell you when you should eat carbs. When is the best usage of these carbs? You know what I mean? When you're gonna use them in the good way. So this is what Attune also doing. All works in real time, and like I will not say replace me, but it's very close. I will say it's very close, and I think in the near future it will be very close.
So in short, if I summarize your answer, it's like, of course, if AI is very close, but it cannot replace Dennis and the app, because
No,
the
not
app
yet.
is built with what Dennis has put his emotions and the human contact. And of course, the human contact, it cannot be replaced by AI. There is one bigger question which applies to every listener. We now have more health data available to us everywhere in this generation. We are wearing everything, wearable apps, we are having putting data on the AI apps, this app, that app. And when there is more data, it is making us more like less healthy. So why is information making the more information making us less healthy?
Well, interesting question. To be honest, I don't know what to answer you on that. I think like more informations without meaning is just noise. Uh, people get, you know, people get overwhelmed. People listening many different opinions, get many informations, and this is like one of your previous questions. It's same with apps. It's same with content, with people. Getting many different opinions sometimes will just confuse you, and it's all related. You're listening many healthy good advices, and then you end up eating burgers and pizza. You know, I mean, we live in the world where AI is everywhere. People spending hours and hours scrolling on social media. You know, like I'm always starting from myself because I'm also doing that. But for some reason, I train myself how to handle it in the good way. You know, even in my when I open my Instagram, I can see when let's say when it comes to AI, when it comes to let's say Claude, it's like ChatGPT, but different AI. So now everyone is expert about that. Everyone is expert. And then many times I save many of these videos and I never open them again. You know? So it's same. It's information is like that. It's just noise without meaning, and it will just raise woman stress level, and it will lead her nowhere. Just down.
Then is something different. Let's get out of this expertise. And it's like you spend every day helping women understand and repair the relationship with their bodies. You are a bodybuilder, you have pushed your body to extremes that most people will never experience. Even when I thought about bodybuilding, it's like something, okay, above my head. Tell me a time when your body, your own body, told you, Dennis, stop, and you didn't listen. What happened?
Many times I burn out, not because I did something wrong, it's because just I thought I'm doing everything right, but something was, in the end, something is wrong. Most of that is overtraining, less food. Then when when I realize when, especially when it comes to these extreme diets and these things, I was looking good, but I was not feeling happy in my body. I was not happy person. Either though you see me, you will say, "Oh man, you look amazing." But
How do
I
you
was
manage your own energy? How do you manage your own energy in that time?
I was in, I will say, standby mood for whole day, except when I go to train this 1 hour. And then after this 1 hour of training, again, standby, like shut down. And this is just results of a lot of activities, not just weightlifting, but also other things from early morning and very low food. Okay, in bodybuilding, when it's competition, you have certain goal. The goal is to get as lean as possible with single digit body fat percentage, but this is not healthy. And this is just like short term, and this is how we're doing for just to peak this 1 day of the year or few days in it depends how many competitions people will do. But this is not healthy. And I will tell you one more thing now, jumping from topic to topic, but related to GLP-1. Let's say when users stop taking this medication, they will rebound, and most often they will gain more weight than starting point when they started with medication. And it's same in bodybuilding. Like I was able to gain up to 10 kilos in just a few days after competitions. Because body is like sponge. I was starving my body, and same with GLP-1. You're suppressing appetite, so it means you're starving your body, but you don't feel it. You go starving for a certain period of time, and then when you stop taking that, your body is like sponge. It's like when you put sponge in the water and sponge suck everything. So that's happened.
Dennis, I have some very interesting questions for you from the listeners. Uh, Question 1: early menopause, irregular cycles, anxiety during the periods, mood swings. Women are experiencing all of this, but nobody connects the dot for them. What is actually happening hormonally across all of these? So what they can do before reaching the medication? Something naturally.
I think we mentioned already many times during this podcast what is the best way to do. In general, yeah. I mean, it sounds boring, but you should keep repeating these things until people start getting into head that this is literally I would say the main thing what they can do for themselves without jumping to any medication. Of course, do blood work. I would say maybe blood work is maybe the first thing to do in order to find out what's going on, and then rest of the things, because progesterone, estrogen, stress, all of I would say progesterone is like starting jumping around, and then stress hormone cortisol is just kind of to increase the volume on top of that. But like basic stuff. I don't want and I don't like to sound as some medical expert or something. I like to keep, and what I learned from my experience working with people, explaining things in the simplest way. Don't try to be to use some words. I always trying to keep very very simple language that everyone can understand. Just that few things, because this is not separate problems. They all come together. So fix these things and everything will be different, I guarantee.
So I can say, to bounce back to the previous thing, you have to adjust these things.
Exactly. I start from basic. Always come back from basic. Don't try to overcomplicate or try many different things if you skip the basic stuff.
There is another question. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. I'm giving you example for us guys. Most of 90% of us start from basic things. You must be, you start most probably from push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, building this base before you jump into weights, and same it with me. Like don't skip basic. If you have someone who is strong but not able to do one push-up or pull-up, there is something wrong with that. How is that possible? So it's same in life, with any kind of disease, hormonal problem. I will always say, do your blood work, check your blood sugar, basic stuff, and then this is like starting point that you know what to do. But in many cases, from my experience, it comes from stress. Stress is the main biggest enemy. So
let's take another question. It's kind of an interesting question. Egg freezing. Is it actually worth it? From what age should someone seriously consider it? And what are the real pros and cons nobody tells you before you walk in to the clinic?
Egg freezing is like more like insurance, not a promise. It's not guaranteeing the baby. And advice, if I need to give advice to someone, is like, if you're planning to do that in your younger age, when your hormones are healthy, when you are in your, I would say, best stage of your life. And that's it. As early as you do that, it's better, because in that age your body is just different.
So a woman asked that she had her first pregnancy naturally at around the age of 28. Now she is 35. No medication, no intervention before also. Now she's trying for her second child. After 7 years, her periods are irregular, sometimes on, sometimes off. So what is actually happening in her body right now? Is the natural conception still realistic? And what should be her very first step to be? You answered this, I think so, before as well, but again, the question is here.
When you forcing something and that doesn't happen, what's happened with you? You become more stressed, right? It's logical. And then you're putting more pressure on yourself. And it's just, I don't know if this is correct word in English, counterproductive. You know what I mean? Opposite of good. You're doing actually bad thing. It will come. I believe it will come, because it's not the first child, so it's a bit different when a woman already give birth once. But get your hormones, do your blood work, check what is wrong. I don't know how stressful she is, but again, lifestyle. Try to eat better, eat more healthier, whole foods, a lot of protein, good fats. Fats, we are not talking much about good fats, but it's for hormones. Fats are amazing. Nuts, egg yolk, all this kind of olive oil. It's a very good thing. Hormone improvement. So yeah, it will happen. I can say that.
Perfect, Dennis. Perfect. It was really something amazing chatting with you today on very deep issues, delicate issues. And here is what I want to leave the listeners with today. Your body is not your enemy, and it has never been your enemy. What we take from Dennis' talk today is that create a better lifestyle, do your blood work. And it has been, the body's been trying to communicate with you through fatigue, through weight, through good mood, through bad mood, through sleepless nights. And it's all happening. If you are following something on internet or social media, that's not for you. That's designed for someone else. Don't take that stress. Dennis didn't came here to show on this show today to sell you something. He came to tell you the truth. The metabolic chaos is real and it's also solvable. Many questions which we had from listeners, and Dennis had the same thing: stress, lifestyle, but everything is fixable, everything is reversible. If you take your life seriously, if you want to take your life seriously, change your lifestyle, eat healthy, eat more protein, and take less stress. And to every woman listening right now who has been carrying that fear, that 35 means end of something, it doesn't. We have proved over here it's a beginning, it's not the end. And your biology is more resilient, more responsive, and more remarkable than anyone else has given you credit for. The right information in the right hands changes everything. Thank you so much, Dennis. Thanks that Run Club conversation which started and it bring it over here. Thank you for the tape that helped me breathe better and run farther. And thank you for being so kind and very professional who tells people that what they need to hear.
Anytime.
Nothing is easy.
Thank you. Yeah,
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much, sir.
And I like your final words. Honestly, it's all about that. the end of the day, it's all about that. Don't overcomplicate anything. Keep it basic. Keep it simple. And that's it. I understand social media, tons of information during the day. Try to get less of that as possible, and just listen to your body. Listen to your body. Do blood work. See what's actually wrong. That's it. And for husbands, support your wives.
To everyone who is listening right now, wherever you are, stop fighting your body, start listening to it, and especially to the husbands and the male people at home, support your women's. All of Dennis' details, the solution tape, the Attune app, and how to contact with him directly will be in the show notes below. We'll see you in the next episode of Everyday Conversations. Till then, see you. Have a good day. Take care and stay safe, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you.